Speaking about beracha on Haleem. What is the beracha on Haleem? Beracha, the beginning beracha, after beracha. So first of all, let's define what is Haleem. Haleem or Halva, very similar thing. Many Persians, they are into it. It's a mixture of wheat or barley cooked in water with oil, with all sorts of spices. And when this is cooked, the beracha rishona is mezonot. What about the beracha acharona? So the beracha acharona, the common knowledge is that it's ala mechia. If a person is having 27 grams. So too, if a person is having pasta or macaroni, right? Also, the beracha rishona is mezonot. The beracha acharona is hadama. What about if a person is having a lot of macaroni or a lot of pasta? The beracha acharona still would be ala mechia, because it is not compared to bread. It's not like something that if you have too much of cake, it would be bikat hamazon. So Haleem is made from wheat and barley. Now what about if the wheat or barley that is used is fried? Right? Then according to some opinions, this beracha, the beracha acharona, would be borei nefashot. So therefore, because there is a safek, there is a doubt in halacha, one should try to have Haleem or halva in the seudah. That this way he would not put himself in the safek of beracha acharona. That this way the bikat hamazon would cover the beracha acharona of his Haleem or halva. So there is another opinion that it says if somebody had fried wheat or fried barley, the beracha acharona, he could even say borei nefashot if he's having less than 30 grams. Borei nefashot, because after all he's making beracha on wheat that is not changed from its form to cake, or barley that is just has been fried. Now, if a person is having a complete bria, a complete fruit, like a grape, or like a small orange that is less than 27 grams, less than kazait, which requires a berikat acharona of borei nefashot. Then what is the halacha? If he's having this one grape, according to some halachic authorities, this requires a beracha acharona, even though that is less than 27 grams. Why? Because it's a bria shlema, because it's a complete fruit by itself. So much so that if we want to understand this concept, we can go back to 600 years ago when we had the wonderful Bedin. The Bedins back then, when they had the power to administrate the lashes, if a person would have 27 grams of non-kosher meat, if he was warned by edim, by two kosher witnesses, about the prohibition of having such a meat, and he was also informed that there would be consequences of lashes, nevertheless, if he ignored it, in such a situation, the Bedin would administrate lashes, right? So too, the halacha is, if a person would have a brioche lema like a fly, right? Like a fly or like ant, which is less than 27 grams. It could be a gram or less. Nevertheless, if he was warned and he knew what he was doing, he would get himself into trouble of lashes. Now, why is that so? He had less than the required amount, but nevertheless, because it was a brioche lema, complete being, then it requires, it's considered a big sin, a complete sin. That even sometimes a fly or ant would require 4 to 8 series of lashes, each time 39 lashes, depending upon if the person is capable of accepting these lashes health-wise. So from here we learn the chashivut, the importance of a brioche lema, of a complete fruit. Therefore, if somebody is having sesame, or somebody is having just a little bit of a Haleem that has the complete wheat or barley in it, then he would make himself into the safek of beracha acharona, because there is enough barley or wheat in it requiring him to say beracha acharona, even though that is less than 27 grams. So therefore, one must refrain having Haleem, Halva, or these fruits that are complete, unless if he is having 27 grams of that. If he is not planning to have such amount, then he should cut the grape into half and say beracha on it, and each time he should put 1/2 into his mouth. This way he would not put himself in the situation of safek beracha acharona, the doubt of what is the appropriate beracha after blessings, the beracha acharona. So too we see this concept with sesame. What can you do with sesame? You can't cut it in half, it's so small. So one needs to refrain from having sesame alone, unless if he's having 27 grams of it, kazait, right? Or if he wants to have sesame, he should have it within his seudah, within his meal with bread. So this way he would not put himself in this situation of all the beracha acharona, the safek, what is the beracha acharona? You know, because as we say, there is such a beracha, this is a very big chidush, right, that Tosfot talks about it, of al peri ha'adama, just like ala michya wa ala kakala, or al ha'es wa al peri ha'es, al ha'es wa al perot, so too there is such a discussion that there should be a beracha acharona al peri ha'adama, but we don't paskin of such beracha acharona. When is such a beracha acharona in question? When a person is having a brioche lema that is less than the required amount of 27 grams. So may Hashem help us that we should never put ourselves in these halachic doubts. Venomar, Amen.
Amen.